Hello everybody, my name is Jabril Sharif and I will be walking you through the EOServe Connect onboarding training. Um, we are going to be reading about 20 slides worth of this PowerPoint presentation, so please, please be attentive and hopefully I'll be able to outline everything that you guys are going to need going forward working with EOServe Connect. So first things first, EOServe Connect welcomes you to a new and exciting career. As a political survey agent, you are directly responsible for communicating the client's message and gather information through survey or question format. Some campaigns include transferring the voter to another number. Using various scripts, you can help many voters with important questions and information. Many times they may not be aware, and they also give valuable input that is communicated to the candidate or organization. All right, so training, opening objectives. Disarm the prospect, assume the party, full identity disclosure, utilizing icebreakers and building rapport, and alternate contacts. I will be simplifying the following slides. So the first thing it touches on is to assume the party. When you answer the phone, as opposed to saying, I am a telemarketer, you would start with the standard, hello, may I please speak to, and then the name of the person that you're calling. It is extremely important to establish your authority and control as early as possible in the presentation and never lose control of the process. The prospect must truly understand the purpose of the call. When this is done properly, the prospect understands and appreciates how the call may benefit them. This is true. Next, we have full identity disclosure. You must identify who you are and the purpose of your call in accordance with the CRCC and TCPA rules. So, like I said before, you would assume, this is part of assuming the, the party. You will identify yourself by your name and the party that you are calling for. Utilizing icebreakers. In the first 10 to 15 seconds of the phone call are the most important because they set the tone for the entire presentation. With those 10 to 15 seconds, you must assure the prospect that he or she will be informed, benefited, and even entertained by your phone call. Try to always be clear, polite, professional, and to the point. Be sincere at all times, and remember you're a professional who just happens to use the phone. Rapport. Building rapport is the process of establishing and maintaining a relationship of mutual trust and understanding. Usually, building this rapport will usually happen in the first 10 to 15 seconds of your phone call. Rapport is going to drastically affect the results of your calls. Alternate contacts. Many busy prospects ask their family members or others to act as gatekeepers or people to answer the phone in their stead. When you meet with a gatekeeper and a screener, be brief and direct. State your name, campaign name, and ask to speak to your prospect. Presentation. Disclose the purpose of the call. This strategy must be delivered with clear understanding of the campaign's objective as well as with confidence and enthusiasm. It helps to read the scripts that you're given for each campaign before you get into the campaign so that you can practice how it sounds. Some people are going to be able to improvise it and read it on the fly. Others are not. It's up to you to understand your limits and capabilities and to act accordingly to make sure that we have the best results that we can get. This also has to do with the script flow. As soon as you open, you have to state why you are calling. Many times it happens that when we call prospects, they are annoyed or incensed by us calling, and they might resort to verbal abuse. Now, understand that they know nothing about you, and this verbal abuse only stems from the fact that they do not want to be called at that particular time. As such, try to maintain a professional composure and refrain from using outlandish or insulting or probing statements. When the prospect interrupts you while you're speaking, it is in good nature to allow them to continue. Be a good listener. These techniques are important to your success and could make a big difference in your success in this role. If you learn the skills and apply them, you'll suffer less rejection, generate more completed surveys, you'll understand your contacts better, your calls will run more smoothly, you'll inspire more participation, you'll be more confident, and you'll feel more accomplished as a result. Overcoming objections. This allows us to maximize opportunities. The prospect's first reaction will most likely be no, because no is a safe answer. It is our job to convince the prospect that they will benefit from saying yes, and then proceed to give them the client's message. The purpose of the rebuttal is to politely answer or overcome the prospect's questions and objections by providing him with additional offer information. The rebuttal should not be to defend yourself against what the person is saying, but merely to keep them on the phone and to get them talking. We recognize this is a difficult job because you are speaking with over 50 to 100 people during each workday. So the repetition and fatigue factor comes into play. You will get calls from people who are not qualified or don't even know why they're speaking to you. And this happens time after time. You are human. And after so many rejections, it's easy to expect the next call to be negative and cause your attitude to deteriorate. So, in the event that you get a string of people who either don't want to take the survey or people who just have absolutely no idea why you're even calling them, it becomes very easy to allow that to affect your performance. Like I said before, it is important to know your capabilities and your limits, and as such, you should address them in a productive way. If it is absolutely necessary, try taking a break. Realistically, the job requires that you are taking phone calls for an extended period of time, many hours at a time. Small breaks could be beneficial. If they're not necessary, perhaps some form of stress relief could help. Whatever it is you need to do to stay fresh for the next phone call, you should be doing it. Training postmortem. Your first step will be to learn the scripts and rebuttal scripts, providing in the scripts session. Although the scripts change, they have a similar flow and are all scripted in the dialer. We strongly encourage that you make every effort to learn them thoroughly in order to best fulfill your responsibilities as a political survey agent. eConnect requires a strict adherence to the script in order to ensure correct delivery and understanding of campaign objectives, as well as polite, professional conduct while on the phone with each prospect. One word can change the meaning of the offer, so it is mandatory that the script be read word for word until you are able to use it without reading from the screen. This will help the flow of the conversation by making you sound like you are actually engaging the prospect. Okay, here's a slide full of rebuttals, rule sheets, updates, and background police. Call policies and information. So here we have the call policies and information. Political campaigns run according to contract hours. Each campaign, politician, or organization has a budget to spend over a period. At times, these budgets are increased and decreased, so we see variations in the hours available. Please speak with your regional coordinator to learn how to maximize your hours. Available start times may be announced spontaneously due to patchwork. Patchwork campaigns are short and spontaneous. Patchwork is the remaining hours needed to complete a campaign. It is very important for the regional coordinator to know the available time of day as well as the hours per week you can commit to ahead of time. Once the shift is announced, log in as soon as you can, because if it's patchwork, the shift will end once patchwork is completed, unless we are asked to log into a new campaign. Set your weekly goals with your regional coordinator in advance. As an agent, inform the regional coordinator of your available hours the previous week for the following weekday and weekend. Do not take calls personally. The contact will have some strong opinions at times, and under no circumstances are you to disclose your own opinion. Understand that once you log in, you are being monitored and everything is heard, even if you are not on a call. Please press a mute button for anything you do not wish for us to hear. No music in the background. If music is heard, it is immediate grounds to be removed from the program. Playing music on your smartphones at work is also not acceptable. No extended pause times between calls. Each call should be dispositioned and moved on to the next call. Please log out completely if you are not available for taking calls. When logging in and you cannot see a poly number, notify your coordinator immediately and be on standby as to when to refresh. When asked to manually dial, please log into Phone, then drop down Preview Dialer. When unsure how to pronounce names, look for a politician's name on YouTube. Many times the name is spelled phonetically in the script, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. When transferring calls and the number does not show up, copy-paste the politician's telephone number to the transfer box in the event of transferable calls. When transferring calls, there are times when you will need to copy and paste the number or enter it manually. Please make sure there are no punctuation marks such as quotations or dashes or brackets. Once the call is answered, press hang up and then hang me up. Call dispositions. At the end of a phone call, you are going to be faced with the task of dispositioning the phone call. Disposition a call as unavailable if you did not get any words in. Disposition the call is refused and completed live if you said one or more words and the voter hung up. If the project is non-voter specific, after you have read one or more word and they hang it up, it will be a completed live. If they say no to the patch, it will be a completed live. Also, remember every completed live will need at least one answer bubble filled in. For example, no or refuse. To disposition a call as completed live, you must mark name one bubble and then at least one answer bubble on the first question. A completed live is any time you have confirmed the voter on file, no matter what the response is from the voter after you have a completed live. Answering machine or fax machine. Hang up right away and you will click no bubbles on the survey. Not available and wrong number. Politely and quickly get out of the phone call and you will mark no bubbles. By clicking the ID 1 bubble, you are telling the dialer, do not redial this person for the following reason of disposition. Did not finish the first sentence. Language barrier. Deceased. Refused. Privacy manager. Wrong number. Modem or fax. Not in service. Change or invalid number. By not clicking the ID 1 bubble, you are telling the dialer to redial this person for the following reason of disposition. Unavailable or an answering machine. Goal of the program. Why are you calling? We are calling voters in Illinois State House District 24 to ask who they are supporting in the Democratic primary to be held on March 20th. Early voting period is from March 5th to 19th. General questions. Where did you get this number? You would then reply with, sir or ma'am, we got this number from your voter registration information, which is public record. This question can come up across a number of different surveys, so it is important to remember this particular rebuttal. Another question is, can the contact designate a family member or caregiver to complete the survey for me or for them if it is voter specific? No. It is important to get responses only from the person that we are looking for, whose name will be listed. Hello everybody, my name is Jabril, and once again I am back to welcome you to the EOServe Connect training video. So in this video I will show you how to install the Zoiper application onto your computer. It's very simple really, so I'm just going to walk you through it. So all you have to do is go to Google Chrome or any web browser really, and Google the word Zoiper, that's Z-O-I-P-E-R, and then Classic. That is the software that we will be downloading. And once you press enter, you should see up here, download Zoiper Classic from zoiper.com. This is very important. And so you're going to click that link, you're going to go to it. And you're going to scroll down until you see Desktop Zoiper Classic. Okay? And you're going to download it for Windows if you have Windows, or Mac if you have an Apple Macintosh computer. So I have a Windows computer, so I'm going to download it. You are going to press free. Basic functionality only. You just wait a couple seconds for your download to start. Download it, and then once it's done downloading down here, once it's done down there, you press it to run the downloader. Of course, you would allow it to download, and then here is the Zoiper setup wizard. So you press next, I agree, next, next, add desktop shortcut or quick launch. You can select whichever ones you want, and you should install it. All right, so once it, oh my goodness, just get out of here. Yes, anyways, so it should say that it has been completed, the installation has been completed. You will press finish. You will then go to wherever, see here, I have the desktop icon here. So I will press it, and it'll open up Zoiper. Now, under normal circumstances, it's going to open it up here. But sometimes when you open it, it might open up down here in the tray. And you'll see the little Zoiper icon right here. Okay, you right click it and you should see Zoiper. So, but this is the Zoiper right here. This is it, this little thing. And this is the phone application that you will be using to make your calls. So in order to set up the Zoiper for your account, you'll be using it alongside DialCloud. So, go to options. It should be a little wrench button on the far right. On the far right. You're going to click it. It's going to open this up. So these are your settings. Once you open up the settings, you're going to need to set up your SIP account. So you're going to come over here and you're going to go under SIP accounts, and it's going to say add new SIP account. What we recommend you name the account should be political calling. Okay? The name that you give it doesn't actually matter. This is just for your own records. Okay? So once you name it political calling or whatever, press OK. It's going to appear here. Okay? It's going to appear here underneath your SIP accounts. Now, here you have the SIP account options. The domain that you are going to use is as follows. VOIP1 dot VACD dot BIZ. That is the domain that you'll be using. Your username should be provided to you by your regional coordinator. For this exercise, I'm going to use my own. Most usernames should follow the format of first name, last name, followed by EO. Mine just so happens to have a 1 in the middle of it for technical reasons. However, it should usually be first name, last name, EO, or EO, first name, last name. The password is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that is all you need. You hit the apply button. Once you hit the apply button, it saves this underneath this account information. So if I go somewhere else and I go back to political calling, all this information should be there. Okay, you then press OK. You will now see your SIP account listed here under the account. If you did it properly, it should either say registered or it might say just SIP, and if you press the register button, it should register properly if everything went according to how it is supposed to be set up. Okay, so in the next video we're going to talk about how this interacts with DialCloud, but for now that is all you need to know. You go to settings, you put the domain in, username, password, apply. Okay. Make sure that when you download the Zoiper application, you download Classic, Zoiper Classic for desktop. It should say Zoiper Classic desktop. Don't download Zoiper Web or Zoiper 3 or anything like that. Just Zoiper Classic. Alright, so I'll see you guys in the next video where we will talk about the DialCloud platform. Hello everybody, this is Jabril again with the EOServe training. In this video, I'm going to talk about DialCloud. Now, if you're at this point in the training, you will have already seen how to use the Zoiper, how to set up the Zoiper. So in order for DialCloud to work, you just have to open up Zoiper. Yeah, you open up Zoiper, and here it is. And so once again, we have the account here. You just hit the register button, and then it says registered. Okay, it must say registered. If it does not, then please ask for help from your regional coordinator or anybody else. So then you open up your browser and you go to dial-cloud.vacd.biz. Okay, now if you just go to that website, the Agent UI user interface will come up automatically. So it'll bring you here. So you log in with the same username that you used under DialCloud. If you remember, we set up an SIP account with our username. So you're going to use the same username for your SIP account here and the same password as well. And you press login. Then you're going to be brought to this screen. Now this screen is where you select your poly. First of all, you're going to need to select your SIP from here. Your SIP should basically be your username at voip1.vacd.biz. As you remember, that was the domain and the username. Okay, so once you select that, make sure it's selected and it is correct. Okay, you have your outdial groups. Now these are the polies. These are basically the servers of phone call cycles that we will be using. So your regional coordinator before each shift is going to tell you which poly that you need to sign into. So just for the conversation, I'm going to do poly 19, whatever. Make sure the start taking calls button is checked. You press login. This is going to prompt the Zoiper account to show that you're accepting, that you have an incoming phone call. you press accept on the Zoiper. It will say, welcome to DialCloud, get ready to take calls. And from here on, you are now on shift. And this is the screen that you will be receiving the calls from. You will receive the calls here, and you will be listing the dispositions of each call here. Okay? So when you're ready to log out, you just go to File, Log Out. Yes. And you're out. You can then close the browser. And now you're over here. This will automatically, see, it'll automatically turn off. So you don't have to close this, but you can if you want to. Okay? So that is how you use Zoiper and DialCloud to make the phone calls.